Hello and welcome to an Irish woodworker's diary. So today is the 13th of October 2021 and it's 10:30 in the morning. Okay guys, I've dimensioned the lumber now here, the timber, to 45mm thick, which is exactly what I need. I'm not concerned about the height just yet because we'll be cutting that when we have it all glued together. We'll be cutting that in the bandsaw, so that's irrelevant. The other piece of timber that I cut was the block plane. Now I also went ahead and machined down a piece, twice its width, just in case, excuse me, just in case this is too shallow and it doesn't work. We have a safety net and they're both dimensions the same width, which is great. Is we want to take a measurement, right, which is the length of the sole, which is 165mm, right, or 6.5 inches. Close on. So what I'm going to suggest is that we make a 180, which is 7 inches. Let's give ourselves 20mm to play with. We can always cut it off the chop saw later on. So for the block plane, we're going to go 7 inches by 50, 7 inches by 2 inches. So guys, just to be able to document what we're doing, right, because you might want to fall back and make another block plane or a number 3, or maybe you might want to even try a number 7. You never know. Try building, but it's always good to document stuff so you can always go back to a page and say, oh, remember building that, let's go. Anyway, so guys, you can see the measurements there. On the number 3, we have 240mm in length by 87mm in height. So that's 9 3/8 of an inch by 3.5 inches. And on the smaller block plane, 180mm by 50mm, which is 7 inches by 2 inches. The block plane material is 1 inch thick, which is 25mm. And the number 3 is 45mm thick, which is 1 3/4. So they're the dimensions of the timber that I have. And I'm going to go to the chop saw now. I'm going to chop these down to the exact measurements that I've got there, and let's work on finding the angles for these hand planes. Anyway guys, what I've determined was, there's your angle there. You can just about pick it up. Right, this is the bed angle for the block plane, which is 22 degrees. That's where I've worked it off on my block plane. And again, on the big number 3, sorry for all the pencil, I'm just trying to get it right, but this is 45 degrees. This is the bed angle 45, and then I've gone 7 degrees for the angle for the wedge, which is this line here. So it's the inner line because I want to keep a tight mount on it. Okay, that's it. That's it, guys. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's how we're going to get it. Okay, guys, I'm running a bit slow here today. I kind of don't know where I'm at really, to be honest with you. But anyway, we'll work it out as we go along. So, anyway, right, here we go. This is what I'm hoping to achieve, a sandwich, okay? And we will set our 22 degrees here. And we'll cut this piece here at the 22 degrees. And we will do a little housing here to carry the wedge. And so again, what you can see there is I have some reference lines there done with a marking knife, right? This is where I'm going to be cutting. Now, that's the hand plane being pushed that way. Now, if I take this side off, I can show you the marks. So this is our 45 degrees, plus our 7 degrees, which is 52. And we're going to take a little trench out of this, about 5 millimeters deep, 6, whatever. And that's where our wedge will wedge. It'll wedge in the steamed beech, allowing for us to tap the blade, you know, down or back or whatever ways to go. So that's what's happening. That's where we are. That's what we're at. Okay? So, don't know if I made this hand plane right now, to be honest with you, but it's the first, and I used the teak. It was cheaper timbers. Well, I wouldn't call it cheap, but let's see how we get on. I probably should have made the back of the plane another 4 inches longer, and then I could have, like what Dave Staunton done, I could have went up to the chop saw and cut it down to the required size. And I had 3 inches to spare on it. I probably should have left it on it. Anyway, I didn't, and let's get on and see how we can get this together. Okay guys, it's the 14th of October. It's 11:30 in the morning. It's the following day, and we're going to get on with the plane build. Right, let's see how it goes. And as you can see guys, we've got a nice clean out on that, okay? Really, really happy with the clean out of them. Right, I have pre-cut these wedges to 7 degrees, right, and they slide in absolutely perfect. They work absolutely perfect. I've got one for that side and I've got one for this side. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to slide it up to that, and that marries in perfect with that. Okay? And then we're going to get this piece here, and that will marry in perfect with that, giving us the exact gap that I'm looking for. Right. Now guys, as you can see, I have it all glued up. I have it clamped up with the best of Aldi clamps. It's about an hour later or so, an hour and a half. And what I've done is I've cut these down just flush with the ends of the plane. And the other thing I done was I cut the top. There was no point in me showing you that on a table saw. Probably see it hundreds of times. So what we have is, you can see there, beautifully aligned with the teak and the steamed beech. Now I'm not going to do any more with this for the moment because it's only out of clamps. It's only about an hour dry. But I have to say, Tight Bond, I don't know what, no, the Gorilla Glue, sorry. I'm using this Gorilla Glue. And when it grips, it grips. So like it's really super glue, like, you know what I mean? So I'm very happy I used the Gorilla Glue. Anyway, this is what I've done. This is how it looks. Let's get on with the block plane. So the first thing you want to do, guys, is we want to align this up here, allowing us our 7mm clearance, right? So when we get that mark there, we'll then take our bevel set at 22.5 degrees and we'll scribe that line in there. Okay. The next thing you want to do is bring it up to our line and scribe that there. We need to trench that out. So the angle, if you want to know what the angle is, right, 22 degrees and 30 degrees, that's the angle, okay? Okay guys, I had to get this cut here, which is your 22 degree angle there, and your 30 degree angle here. And obviously you can't cut that on a chop saw because the chop saw only goes 45, maybe 48, and same the opposite. So what you have to do is you have to make up these little jigs. So this is the one at 28 degrees and this is the one at 30, okay? And what you'll do is, you know, you'll put your jig in like that against the table saw, right? And you will lock it in there, and what you do is you run across like that, and lo and behold, you get your lovely angle every time. Okay, so that's what I done. Okay, so now we have to remove that. So we go back to the bench and we'll remove this using the wood chisels and the hand router blade. And we're just going to start removing the waste, okay? Like so. Okay guys, so far this is what I've achieved. Okay. It's a lovely little block plan. Possibly made a mouth too big on it. It's my first venture with building a block plan. And the hand plan, as you can see, turned out really well. So we just need to soften up the edges here, front and back, and I'll come back and I'll show you the finished plan. So guys, as you can see, I have the number 3 hand plan done, and it works beautifully. Really works very well. And we also have the block plan. Works really well. You know, there's the little wedge that goes in. Very happy with how they turned out. Very interesting little project. So, you know, I got the idea from Dave Staunton. He's got a live stream. He's an Australian, and he done a lovely job on a pallet wood hand plan. I did see him build a bigger hand plan, and I thought, that's a bit too big for me, I'm not going to go there. But when I seen him build the 2 pallet wood, I thought, okay, we'll give it a go. The setting up, the gluing up was the hardest part of this, by the way. The marking out, the cutting, the house and all the woodwork end of it, that was simple. But the gluing up, it's much more awkward, because these two separate pieces here, you have to line them in, and you know, obviously the glue keeps moving about, and the clamps, I only had cheap clamps, cheap Aldi clamps, and every time I'd clamp it, these 2 timbers would go kind of this way. One would lift up and one would go down. So anyway guys, that's it. that's the end of the hand tool build. Really enjoyed it. Would I do it again? Yes, of course I would. In the future, I'll probably make another hand plane or two. Anyway, guys, from an Irish woodworker story, I'm Phil Gaynor. Thanks for watching.